Thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I'm Lami Ali. You can follow this broadcast live on our website, www.nta.ng/live, on YouTube, NTA News Online, or visit Twitter at NTA News Now. Also on Facebook at Network News. Instagram is NTA Network for updates. Now, Nigeria is seeking stronger support from the European Union towards stopping the rising trend of political instability in Africa, as well as strengthening advocacy for democratic rule. This was at a roundtable on peace, security and governance, where the country insists on weighty sanctions against nation-states that engage in unconstitutional change of governments, as well as those that manipulate their constitutions to extend political term limits. State House correspondent Adam Sambu reports.
Ensuring lasting peace and security on the continent of Africa was the focus of the roundtable. President Muhammadu Buhari, who participated at the discussions held in a closed session, said for many decades Africa has been deprived of political stability and socio-economic development due to terrorism and violent extremism. More worrisome, he however said, is the current state of democracy characterized by increasing cases of unconstitutional change of governments across the continent, particularly in West Africa.
There's been some backsliding in the area of democracy. We've seen a number of coups d'etat in the sub-region. And, so Nigeria's position is really that we have to take all the measures necessary and possible to stop that and check that. And but within the framework of the ECOWAS, that if there are these unconstitutional changes of government, that sanctions will kick in. And so to make those sanctions really effective, we're also looking at the UN and the European Union also helping to enforce and implement those sanctions so that they really will be effective.
Making a case for free, fair, credible and transparent elections as crucial elements in promoting constitutional order and democracy, Nigeria is also of the view that root causes of conflicts be tackled and measures taken towards safeguarding peace and security, as well as promoting illicit financial flows.
Mr. President also has identified things like restitution of stolen loot from a lot of these countries, which are domiciled in European countries, for instance, getting them back, because those are resources that can help in the development of our countries. The issue of tenure elongation and changing of constitution to extend term limits are anti-democratic moves in themselves that also give a pretext to those who want to, unconstitutionally change the government.
Other participants harped on the need for increased EU support for African peace operations by way of strengthening practical cooperation, strategic EU-European Union engagement, and joint decision-making on all aspects of security, enhancing the rule of law and promoting human rights. From Brussels, Belgium, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigeria has been selected as one of the 6 African countries to host the mRNA vaccine technology transfer hub. This is to scale up the production and access to vaccines for COVID-19 and other diseases in the low and middle income countries. Director General of the World Health Organization, Dr. Tedros Ghebreyesus, announced this at a joint video briefing on the margins of the EU-African Union Summit in Brussels, Belgium. Again, State House correspondent Adam Sambu, who brings us the details.
Records obtained from the World Health Organization shows that more than 80% of the population of Africa is yet to receive a single dose of the COVID-19 vaccines. Much of the inequity has been driven by the fact that globally, vaccine production is concentrated in a few mostly high-income countries. This forum, convened by the World Health Organization and the European Union, is to demonstrate support for the urgent need to increase local production of vaccines, especially in low and middle-income countries. Consequently, apart from Nigeria, other African countries to benefit from this strategic investment are Egypt, Kenya, Senegal, Tunisia and South Africa.
WHO will work with the companies and the government in each country to develop a roadmap for training and production based on their needs and capacities.
You can count on the European Union to expand its way of working, to expand its capacity so that Africa can be a continent that develops strategic production capacities in healthcare, in vaccines.
Completely a new approach towards an attitude where the sovereignty of science is protected while Africa has full access and full ownership. This is so important, of the technology and then the goods that come from that. The goal is really to make sure that the technology is transferred and dismantled and shown in full scope, led by Africa and owned by Africa, with the support of Team Europe.
The European Union, supported by France, Belgium and Germany, is investing 40 million euros to the project, described as a major step forward in addressing health emergencies, expanding access to health products and strengthening regional health security.
We need to have optimum cooperation so that we can develop the manufacturing sites and even transfer the most confidential information so that you can produce as quickly as possible. We want to ensure that intellectual property is not something which stands in the way of innovation.
President Muhammadu Buhari and leaders of other benefiting African countries were highly elated over the technology transfer program, which they say demonstrates the power of partnership to change the trajectory of Africa's health security for the better.
Nigeria is very grateful. COVID-19 has been more or less considerate on Nigeria. The figures that show are quite low for those infected, and we express our gratitude to the President of France, especially, for giving us a lot of the COVID vaccines, which we try very hard to make sure that the rural areas that are far and wide are reached, and we are very pleased that the amount of work being done is quite satisfactory.
Leaders of the benefiting countries are optimistic that if successfully implemented, the technology transfer program will set the continent on a sustainable path of self-sufficiency in terms of vaccine supply. From Brussels, Belgium, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
In other news, the First Lady of Nigeria, through the Future Short program under the Aisha Buhari Foundation, is to partner with the Dubai-based digital school to establish a comprehensive digital academy in Nigeria for the benefits of less privileged in the country, especially women, children and other vulnerable groups. This came to light when the First Lady visited Dubai Digital School in the United Arab Emirates, which is the initiative of Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum Global Group. State House correspondent Aliu Kabir reports.
In furtherance of our mission to the United Arab Emirates, the First Lady of Nigeria led members of our delegation to the Dubai Digital School, which is the idea of Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum. The First Lady intimated the officials of the foundation of her engagements in Nigeria, especially her effort of engaging the school dropout amongst the Nigerian youth, particularly girls, with optimism of restoring hope of achieving their ambition for having a brighter future. The idea is to engage in a partnership with the foundation to establish digital schools across the 36 states of the Federation under the auspices of the Aisha Buhari Foundation in collaboration with the pet projects of the wives of the state governors. The First Lady informed the gathering that the program will also cover children with special needs.
Future Assured has been working on education empowerment on youths. We normally deal with the dropouts, those that did not finish the secondary school or they have completed their secondary school with unsatisfactory result. So we normally give them like 3 months tutorials, to brush them up, and then before writing their final exams. We had 2 sessions of it, and the first one, the success was like 45%, and the second one, the success was 94% recently. Out of 600, I think we got like 560 something or so, or 70 something that really made it to the university. And we're hoping to do more.
The officials of the Dubai Digital School reaffirmed their readiness to partner with the Aisha Buhari Foundation towards achieving targets.
Which is one of MBRGI initiatives, and we thank Dr. Manal for facilitating this. She talked a lot about your excellencies and the great support you have there. And she was telling me, you need to start working in Nigeria and engaging with the people there. There is a great support in this regard. After this short presentation, we'll take you in a tour to the robotics lab, which is behind you, here where UAE government is doing innovation in robotics and how it will help develop multiple sectors in UAE, and a quick tour into Area 2071.
All the necessary arrangements are on top gear for the commencement of the program. In Dubai, United Arab Emirates, Aliu Kabir, NTA News.
Towards harnessing information technology for employment generation, the federal government has established National Information and Technology Center in Katsina to achieve the objectives. Inaugurating the center, Minister of Communications and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, said the initiative is part of the present administration's policy on digital economy for sustainable development. Mohammed Sani reports.
To make it beneficial to Katsina State, to Nigeria, and to humanity.
The Information Technology Development Center is fully equipped with ICT facilities for virtual learning and research among the youth to promote ICT-driven economy in line with the federal government policy on digital economy. Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Professor Isa Ali Pantami, said the center is provided to serve as ICT hub to accord Nigerian youth the opportunity to acquire the prerequisite skills that would make them employer of labor rather than job seekers.
A center like this, it will represent the federal government on one hand and the state on the other to discover what our ICT youth need.
The minister explained that the center is also expected to enhance the capacity of institutions of higher learning in design and development of computer software programs.
If you link the incubation center with the innovation center to the institute, you will be surprised what you will be producing.
Similar information technology development centers were established across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country to promote digital literacy in Nigeria. Mohammed Sani, NTA News.
The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development says it will assist families of police officers in the area of welfare. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Sadia Umar Farouk, made the pronouncement when Management of Police Officers' Wives Association, POA, paid her a visit. Francis Form reports.
This is the first time management of POA is visiting the Humanitarian Affairs Minister to solicit the ministry's support in the enrollment of wives of officers and men of the force in the battlefield into the federal government empowerment and skills acquisition programs. While appreciating efforts of the minister in the management of humanitarian challenges, the association assures the ministry of its support in crime fighting.
We have come to solicit your support and partnership in the following areas. Distribution of palliative as a way of support to the family of our gallant officers and men in the front line of duty. Empowerment training in various skills acquisition programs, as well as starter pack to trainee to better position for growth.
And for the minister, POA is critical to the society, considering the role played by their husbands in safeguarding the lives and property of the citizens.
I would like to be kept informed of what your association is doing. Your activities, and I would like to assure you that the Federal Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development will be a very good partner in achieving our mutual objectives to improve the social welfare of our vulnerables in the country.
After meeting with the Humanitarian Affairs Minister, then to the Power Skills Acquisition Center at the MD Abubakar Barracks Day for on-the-spot assessment. The POA president assures that skills acquisition programs will soon resume at the center. Frank is from NTA News.
In a bid to strengthen extant laws to curb the menace of corruption, the Senate's Joint Committee on Anti-Corruption, Financial Crimes and Related Matters held a one-day public hearing for inputs from diverse professional and civil society groups. National Assembly correspondent Mobolaji Moribirin reports.
This public hearing is one of efforts of the present administration in the war against corruption, as the bills before this Joint Senate Committee seek to provide legal backing to anti-corruption related crimes when they become acts of parliament.
The bills reinforce the commitment of the administration to the fight against corruption, and it is why all hands must be on deck to reduce, if not eliminate, the malaise using all legitimate means possible.
We are making laws that would ensure the identification, criminalization, and reporting of crimes, and also provide a conducive working environment for the investigation of unlawful activities.
The bills are the one for the establishment of the Prevention and Prohibition of Money Laundering Act, a bill to repeal and reenact Public Complaints Commission, and that's for the establishment of recovery and management of proceeds of crimes.
We support the need to strengthen the operational capacity of the existing Public Complaints Commission.
We should remember the government white paper on the reduction of the establishment of new agencies.
What EFCC have proposed is okay by us. Let there be a department of EFCC to carry on with the assignment.
With submissions from stakeholders, the committee is set to make other legislative inputs before reporting at plenary. From the National Assembly, Mobolaji Moribirin, NTA News.
And the Deputy President of the Senate, Ovie Omoagege, has called on members of the All Progressives Congress, APC in Delta State, to hit the ground running in ensuring victory as the forthcoming 2023 general elections. He made the call during the inauguration of the State Executive Committee and State Working Committee of the All Progressives Congress in Asaba. Tessie Kuka reports.
With the inauguration of the new executive, a lot is expected from them to move the party forward.
We are going to put in place a leadership that will invite partnership. The APC you see today is a party that is committed to revamping the failing economy and the infrastructural decay.
For the Deputy Senate President, the goal of the party is to win in all elections. He wants the executive members to reach out to the aggrieved members to ensure peace and unity of the party.
Go back home to your various wards and recruit people, preach the gospel as to why APC must occupy the government house come 2023. Preach the gospel as to why APC must occupy all of the national offices.
I don't have any intention of going to PDP, but I have the full intention of defeating PDP in the election.
Those to pilot the affairs of APC Delta State include Chief Omeni Sobute as State Chairman, Chief Paulinus Akbeki as Chairman of the party, Chuks Erire and others. In Asaba, Tessie Koka, NTA News.
Nationwide moves to Lagos, and Adeola will lead us in the next set of reports. Hello, Adeola. It's over to you.
Hello, Lami. Thank you. Motorists are beginning to heave a sigh of relief as the long queues of vehicles that were seen at most fuel stations in the last couple of weeks have started to disappear, following assurances from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited on the availability of a product. Abolade Salami reports that transportation fare has also reduced.
The hardship experienced by Lagosians in the last couple of weeks to buy petrol
is beginning to ease off as most fuel stations now record less queues of vehicles in search of the products. The look on Musa Abubakar's face after buying petrol in less than 10 minutes is a clear indication that life is returning to normal and the long queue is now giving way.
The first version is getting better, The queue is not much anymore. Yeah.
How long have you been in the queue now?
I'm just coming right now. This is like 5 cars before I will go inside now. So the queue is okay. It's okay. So
it's getting normal, getting better.
Compared to how it was?
Yeah. Other days I stay here 2-3 hours. So I'm looking forward for the queue to completely go away. We don't need it.
While the situation is becoming normal at some filling stations in the metropolis, some Lagosians are appealing to concerned authorities to find a lasting solution to the problem of fuel scarcity in order to prevent a reoccurrence.
We have enough fuel. Why are we still queuing every day? Mostly, I get to most of those filling stations, I see tanker discharges fuel every day, but to still get the fuel is an issue, honestly.
Meanwhile, for the period the scarcity of fuel lasted, it was observed that most petrol stations dispensed the products at the approved pump price of 162 naira per litre. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
When the 21-story high-rise building under construction on Gerald Road, Ikoyi, collapsed on November 1, 2021, it left 2 other 15-story uncompleted buildings still standing. Acting on the recommendations of a panel of inquiry set up to investigate the incident, the Lagos State government, in a white paper, has resolved to demolish the 2 uncompleted buildings. Adeniyi Taiwo has the update.
Humanity lost quite a lot to this project, and that's why even after close to about 4 months since the 21-story building collapsed, attention is still riveted on it. A Lagos State government white paper on Toyin Ayinde-led panel of inquiries report is already out, and 26 out of 28 recommendations in that report have been accepted by the Lagos State government. One of the recommendations is basically about the fate of these 2 buildings still standing, as it has been recommended that it be pulled down and the developer be prosecuted. A lot of Nigerians that I've spoken to here today tend to agree with the position of the state government.
Once an integrity test is conducted and it reveals that it cannot stand on its own, then it needs to go down. If not so, that same tragedy that happened some time ago, it will repeat itself.
A lot of money has been put into this project, but I think we should look at the safeties, more of the safety in this, not the money aspects.
No, if they did not pull down the building and they finish the work, no one will stay here. Right? Because of damages, nobody knows if we collapse when they park in, like what happened of recent.
Having listened to Nigerians, let's get the take of an expert on all this.
To reach that conclusion shows that those buildings there lack the capacity to withstand certain forces of nature that will eventually, within its life cycle, act on it.
As government takes position on this building and its fate is now known, the question on many lips among residents of Ikoyi here is that when will it be pulled down, and safely too?
They will do it in such a way to prevent unacceptable level of vibration within that environment. And they've done it in the past, so that will not be an issue.
From Gerard Road in Ikoyi, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
Thank you, Adeniyi, for that update. Those are the stories from Lagos, but before we go, let's remind you that you can still follow this news broadcast live on our website, www.nta.live, and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, our Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network for updates. Nationwide will continue with Fatima in Makurdi after this time out. Please stay on.
The ever-busy ancient city of Onitsha is a commercial hub with millions of commuters seamlessly linking other states daily for business, leisure, and other purposes. To upscale its road network, The construction of a 1.6-kilometer long second Niger bridge, including a 10.3-kilometer highway furnished with other infrastructure, has been in motion by the federal government. This project will ease congestion on the existing 56-year-old Onitsha bridge and boost the economic capacity of the state as it easily connects to other parts of the country. The completion of the world-class second Niger bridge Onitsha will be one of the many proud moments of the state, its people, Nigerians, and foreign investors. Onitsha, which hosts the largest market in Africa, is geared up to boast of an impressive road network. Once again, these moments are made alive by the federal government, and it is deserving of all the applause.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, invites stakeholders to a town hall meeting to highlight the achievements of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration in infrastructure development nationwide. The key sectors in focus at the town hall meeting are works and housing, power, and finance. The event is scheduled as follows. Date, Tuesday, 22nd of February, 2022. Venue, the Nigerian Air Force Conference Center along Banex Jabi Road, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. Please note that all COVID-19 protocols will be fully observed. For further information, please call Samuel on 08088006035, Lucky on 08169858109.
Proficiency courses to sharpen your professional skills. Computer Appreciation for Media Practitioners. Date 21st February to 28th February 2022. 1 week. English Grammar and Pronunciation for Broadcasters. Date 1st March to 25th March. 4 weeks. Administrative Principles, Processes and Practices. Date 11th March to 31st March 2022. 4 weeks. Modern Trends in Broadcast Media Marketing. Date 14th March to 13th April 2022. 4 weeks. Basic Broadcast Accounting and Auditing. Date 4th April to 19th April 2022. 2 weeks. The course fee for the 1 week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2 week course is 150,000 naira, while the course fee for the 4 week course is 180,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College, near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-314-4383 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, training you to be the best you want to be.
Coming off a tough road victory, the Reds will face another relegation-threatened team, this time at Anfield. This Saturday, it's Liverpool versus Norwich City on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
And welcome to Makurdi. Following the recent outbreak of violence at the Wurukum Rice Mill area in Makurdi, involving some youths from the Tiv and Jukun tribes, stakeholders have cautioned the youth against fomenting trouble, which they say is capable of escalating to a full communal crisis. They attributed the ugly incident to some criminal elements who wanted to take advantage of the little dispute and cause mayhem. Sandra Dowese Akeme reports.
The rice mill community in Wurukum, situated beside the bank of the River Benue, is predominantly occupied by the Tiv and Jukun tribes, who have lived peacefully for decades. However, there was a little misunderstanding between youths in the community recently over the use of a fish pond, which led to destruction of some houses, household items, and some persons were allegedly injured as well. Some community elders and leaders said the incident was uncalled for, attributing it to youth restiveness, and advised those fueling the crisis to desist.
It's not only the Tiv people or the Jukun people, all tribes, when it is time, we used to have a fish there.
Why not come to us, we the owners of that lake? So we're not here to fight anybody.
Both leaders of various communities should go back and talk to their people
that they should embrace peace from now onward.
We are going to sign a communique with in the presence of the Honorable Commissioner of Police, and I believe with this meeting there will be no problem again. There will be peace in that place.
We also resolved that no one should go there for now, and this country is guided by laws. You cannot take laws into your hands. So whosoever that take law into his hands, the law enforcement agencies will apprehend such person and prosecute him.
As at the time of filing this report, normalcy has returned as security personnel have been deployed to the community. In Makurdi, Sandra Dewisi Akeme, NTA News.
The Benue State Deputy Governor Benson Abono has tasked the new Ochidoma to bring meaningful developments to Idoma land. He stated this when he led a delegation of sons and daughters of the Benue South Senatorial District to his palace in Otukpo. Grace Anyalewa Ichekwa reports.
The Deputy Governor Benson Abono, while thanking God for the successful selection of the new Ochidoma, said his reign will bring modernity to the Idoma Kingdom, especially as the world is evolving. He said some cultural norms that were dehumanizing can be stopped, considering his wealth of experience educationally and religiously.
If we keep very strictly to the tradition and cultures of the past, then the sole purpose or the main purpose of having a kingdom in the modern era, which is the development of our land, we may not be able to achieve it to the zenith.
The Ochidoma Agabaidu, His Royal Majesty John Odogbo Elaigu, who spoke in Idoma, said his accession to the throne is God-ordained. He called for peace and love to reign among his subjects in order to achieve the desired development in Idoma land. From Otukpo local government area, Grace Anyalewa Ichekwa, NTA News.
And that's it from Makurdi. Nationwide continues with Lami in Abuja.
Thank you, Fatima. More than 2,000 youths have been equipped with requisite knowledge on entrepreneurship, ICT, animal production and marketing by the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs. Elizabeth Omori reports that the aim of the training is geared towards the agenda of lifting millions out of poverty.
Akin Showore is one of the beneficiaries of the ministry's empowerment program. He has acquired skills in grass cutter production. Just like Akin, they will be eking a living for themselves while contributing to the economy.
People take option of this nature so that all of us can be self-reliant anywhere we find ourselves.
The program, which covers mobile phone repairs and maintenance, rearing of grass cutters, oil and gas, marketing and ICT, the Ministry of Niger Delta says is one sure way of making Nigerians self-reliant and by extension become employers of labor.
Take the knowledge you have acquired here, apply it, and train other people so that by so doing, the Niger Delta region, rather than being seen as a group of militants, will be seen as entrepreneurs.
Federal government is proud that we have really done justice to produce viable, decent, intuitive youths.
Beneficiaries of the empowerment program are drawn from the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. In Abuja, Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
The Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association, the National Association of Road Transport Owners, NARTO, and National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, have suspended the planned nationwide strike action. This is the outcome of an engagement by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to address concerns raised by the key players on the 21 road rehabilitation by the NNPC Limited. Lydia Sampson reports.
With the supply chain already challenged by the methanol blended petrol issue, the NNPC's determination to intervene, the Chief Executive Officer, Mele Kyari, says, is to mitigate further hardship on the people.
We agreed to work together to ensure that we monitor these projects closely so that they deliver on time and on cost.
and also to ensure that the resources available are applied for that purpose only. Also, we agreed that we will work jointly to ensure that the current tightness that we are seeing in the market is eliminated very, very speedily. This includes adequate distribution of products that we know they are already available in the country, and so that truck drivers and our other partners involved in this process cooperate with us so that Nigerians can have the relief that they deserve, very, very speedily.
To fast-track seamless product supply and availability, the critical stakeholders' engagement between the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Petroleum Tanker Drivers Association, National Association of Road Transport Owners (NATO), and National Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers (NUPENG), after reviewing grey areas, resolved to strengthen collaboration at all levels to ensure seamless operations in the downstream. The Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority informed the meeting that already a committee has been constituted to review freight rates involving members of the PTD, NATO and NUPEG, in addition to all the stakeholders. Parties at the meeting agreed to work expeditiously towards concluding the review of the freight rate and making recommendations to the government. They urged the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority to advise on definite closeout date. The key players agreed to work closely to ensure efficient distribution of petroleum products across the country. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And the Federal Road Safety Corps is collaborating with Servicom in creating awareness for a better road safety culture of motorists in the country through the National Traffic Radio of the Corps. Oyeyemi Ajayi reports.
This collaboration between the Federal Road Safety Corps and Servicom is to create more awareness on the need for Nigerians to be informed in order to curb avoidable road accidents.
You don't use phone while driving, you don't take one way. We continue to promote this until we get to the satisfactory level. And it's only Servicom that can measure this, the level of service delivery when they carry out independent assessment. They've seen that we need to do more for people to know that there's National Traffic Radio.
We're taking this message out to the public such that as people drive, as people are around, we have increased listenership. Why are we doing this? To reduce to the barest minimum the number of crashes.
With plans of making the awareness drive a continuous exercise, the Corps says it will always engage all necessary means of ensuring sanity and safety of lives and property on roads, and that includes the radio station, which broadcasts in 5 major languages in the country. The National Traffic Radio 107.1 FM, belonging to the Federal Road Safety Corps, was inaugurated by the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo. The radio station was created for road safety awareness to motorists, giving tips on safety precautions amongst others. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
For more reports on nationwide Dibabari is standing by in Port Harcourt's Network Center. Let's join her. Hello, Dibabari.
Welcome to Port Harcourt. The recent scarcity of premium motor spirit witnessed in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, is abating with the queues disappearing. This is a result of the availability of the product in some outlets visited. However, there appears to be a difference in the price as most filling stations visited were selling above the approved pump price of 165 naira per litre. Joy Uzo has details.
Confirming the statement by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, that all will be done to ensure that Nigerians get prompt distribution of PMS across depots and retail outlets in the country to alleviate the sufferings witnessed for some days now. Filling stations in Port Harcourt and its environs are beginning to receive products and are dispensing to the public. The inconvenience for motorists, however, is that they are purchasing at an exorbitant price of between 180 naira to 200 naira.
I just bought a litre for 180 naira now, and I think it's a little bit fair.
The quality of the fuel was not very friendly, it was not fine. It looks brownish somehow. But I was happy it was able to drive my car. So I don't know about this one.
Up till now, we have not seen some police station open selling. And the price they are giving us, some places 200, some places 190 per litre. I don't know why.
But we don't have goods. We don't have. And to purchase
it's not easy to purchase fuel now.
While a handful of the outlets are still under lock and key, with the managers declining comment, other respondents say the reason is not far, as some of them are hoarding products in anticipation of a possible increase in the price of PMS.
I feel the private marketers, they are anticipating that the increment the federal government said about some months back, maybe it's going to take effect in a few days' time. So everybody is trying to hoard whatever they have.
They should remove subsidy. I'm in support of removing subsidy, but they should give us a refinery that are functional.
Despite the situation, the transport sector is still bearing the brunt of the hike in the price of PMS. Commuters hope that normalcy returns soon. In Port Harcourt,
the Cross-River government is promising to work with the federal government to protect the welfare of refugees in other countries. This was during the visit of the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management, and the government of the state in a on refugees. Paul Lebel reports.
We apologize for that technical hitch from Port Harcourt. We're now going to take some commercial breaks, after which we join Maiduguri for the next set of reports.
About the greatest assets the country has at the moment, it is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths.
Candidates who are interested in gaining admission into NTA TV College, Jos, for the 2021-2022 two-year National Innovation Diploma Program are to apply for admission through the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB. Courses available for application include film and television production, broadcast journalism, and television engineering technology. Such candidates must have a minimum of 5 O-level credits in relevant subjects, including English language and mathematics. For inquiries, please call 0803-079-5335 or 0806-980-9807. Management Announcer.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs, and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk, app for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Coming off a tough road victory, the Reds will face another relegation-threatened team, this time at Anfield. This Saturday, it's Liverpool versus Norwich City on the Premier League Live, showing on the network service of the NTA from 3:30 p.m. The Premier League Live is brought to you by Baba Ijebu and powered by Integral.
For staying with us on Nationwide up to this moment, and this is Maiduguri Zonal Network Center. Let's move on now. More vehicle queues continue to surface at filling stations as small businesses have begun to bear the brunt of high price of petrol due to more scarcity of fuel in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Jadwa Jasni has an update.
A drive round the Maiduguri metropolis shows that some private filling stations have remained closed due to inadequate supply of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol. Although There is fuel at federal and state government-owned filling stations. NTA News camera lens captured long queues of motorists waiting to buy fuel. They expressed displeasure over the heightened fuel scarcity in the metropolis, which is taking its toll on their daily activities and businesses.
Wallahi gaskiya mutane abin ya dame su sosai. A samun zan kai mutane jana'iza ma sun ce mun ba zai yiwu ba.
Har zuwa war haka shagon a rufe. Ban yi aiki kwata-kwata tun daga jiya har zuwa yau.
Kaga za mu tafi Adamawa ne, muka sake dawowa da fasinja. Tukunna muka samu gidan mai guda daya wanda shine da mai shi ma yanzu gashi kana ga layi muke ciki.
They added that with the official pump price of 162 naira still in place, the product should be made available for their use. The situation is even worse at the state-owned filling stations as those with gallons are given more attention. Zonal Controller, Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Regulatory Authority in charge of Northeast, Mr. Agada Jerome, said the authority has been receiving supply of 10 to 15 trucks of PMS to Maiduguri on daily basis, while inspection staff are on surveillance. The controller explained that the authority has sealed 14 filling stations within the state, appealing to the general public to contact the authorities through their hotlines and inform them of any filling station that holds the commodity.
If there's any accusation, such allegations should be brought to this desk, and we will take action decisively. Information available to us from Lagos that it will gradually fizzle out before the end of this week. My advice to the public is if you go to any station that is queue, please go around.
Mr. Agada further assured the general public that price of the petroleum remains the same and that will be available within the shortest period of time. In Maiduguri, Jadua Josini, NTA News.
University of Maiduguri, a federal institution of over 40,000 students, is now a shadow of itself following the one-month strike by Academic Staff Union of Universities as it entered its 5th day of industrial action. Here again is Jadwa Jesni with a situation report.
It could be recalled that the National Executive Council of Academic Staff Union of Universities had on Monday, 14 February 2022, declared a 4-week down tool nationwide due to some of its demands. Students of the university are not happy with this development.
The strike will definitely affect students because staying at home is another thing.
Instead of 4 years course, they are trying to increase it to either 5 or 6 years, which is not proper.
Lecture areas, hostels and the entire school premises are still deserted when NTA News visited. ASU Chairman University of Maiduguri Chapter, Dr. Abubakar Michelia Saidu, stated their demands, which include payment of revitalization funds to improve the academic facilities, payment of outstanding academic staff salaries since February 2020, as well as implementation of university transparency and accountability solution as against IPPIS, among other demands.
Students are either 10 or more than 10 in a room. The lecture theaters cannot even contain the number of students on ground. No enough lecturers. If you go to laboratories, you cannot even conduct most of the researches. The union is steadfast in ensuring that the right thing must be done this time around. Until all our demands are met, we will never suspend the strike.
Dr. Abubakar said the action will not be called off anytime soon, as it is aimed at bettering the teaching, research and learning environment for both lecturers and students. In Maiduguri, Jadwa Jasini, NTA News.
And that will be it on Nationwide from Maiduguri. Let us at this point return to Lami in Abuja for more reports for us. Do have a lovely weekend.
Thank you, Abubakar. Now, Czech Republic is seeking a more robust partnership with Nigeria as the country prepares to assume the presidency of the European Union. This was when President Miloš Zeman visited the Nigerian leader on the margins of the EU-African Union summit in Brussels. State House correspondent Adam Musumbu reports that the president also engaged G4 members to evolve strategies for a peaceful and prosperous Africa.
President Miloš Zeman of Czech Republic, who reaffirmed his country's trust and confidence in Nigeria and its leadership, is seeking the revitalization of the joint commission mechanism between the two countries in order to enhance qualitative relationship in critical economic sectors.
They are going to be taking over the presidency of the European Union from France in July. So they wanted to engage with Nigeria, make contact with Nigeria to also hear from us our expectations and whatever asks demands we might have, and for them to be able to see what they can do to mobilize support in that direction within the European Union. They talked about in the area of security. The Czech Republic has a number of very sophisticated and weaponry, and well regarded in that area. So there's a possibility of increasing the cooperation in the military field.
During the closed-door engagement, a formal invitation was issued to President Muhammadu Buhari to visit Prague with a large contingent of Nigerian business community towards increasing the level of trade between Nigeria and Czech Republic. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari and his counterparts from Ethiopia, South Africa and Algeria, under the auspices of the G4, have resolved to strengthen the platform for the resolution of the various issues confronting the African continent. The G4 platform, an initiative of the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, was set up to discuss profile solutions and aggregate measures towards ensuring that the African Union carries its work forward successfully, efficiently and quickly too.
The vision is to have 4 of the biggest countries on the continent: South Africa, Ethiopia, Algeria and Nigeria come together and be a motor coordinating action and reaction for the whole continent, So the feeling is that the coordination amongst African countries at the moment is not really what it should be, that there should be a lot more proactivity.
The leaders agreed to convene a formal summit to chart a roadmap for Africa in the coming months. From Brussels, Belgium, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Governor Hope Uzodinma says the community mass vaccination campaign being embarked upon by the Imo State government is in furtherance of its commitments to achieving zero infection of the virus. He said this while flagging off the exercise in Uweri. Beatrice Anyam has the details.
The outbreak of COVID-19 has resulted in several efforts by the federal and state governments to ensure the protection of its citizens from the deadly virus. Although the Imo State government has continued to make vaccines available, this particular exercise being flagged off by the state governor, Hope Uzodinma, is geared towards capturing those yet to be vaccinated across the 27 local government areas of the state. He appeals to residents of the state to join the fight against the killer virus by making themselves available for vaccination.
Some people, out of ignorance or fear or both, may be unwilling to submit themselves to be vaccinated. Let me quickly and repeatedly assure such people that all those conspiracy theories surrounding COVID-19 vaccines are false.
The United States ambassador to Nigeria says America will continue to collaborate with Nigeria in the fight against COVID-19. The event featured the presentation of mobile clinics to the 27 local government areas of the state to ensure effectiveness of the door-to-door COVID-19 vaccination campaign, particularly in the rural areas in Owerri. Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
And for sports updates, let's join Cynthia Ogun.
Match day 14 of the Nigeria Professional Football League is expected to